Hi guys, it's Haven here. I am doing a quick little share video. I have been, as you see, I've been pouring on a few records. Well, I got to thinking about it and I started doing a few other things with them. I took my ruler, measured out, and heat them up a little bit. I used just an embossing heat tool to melt up the record. Or to warm the record, and then I use my craft scissors, or my more durable scissors as we'll call them, to cut along the lines that I heated up and marked. This is one thing I did with it, and I made a couple little boxes. I even have because it's easier to measure. Some records were quick and easy to measure, some of them were not as quick and easy to measure, and I took a piece of cardboard, traced a circle, and drew out some lines where I was cutting a lot. Well, this is one I did, one of the first ones that I played with, but as you can see, it's got the opens here, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one. And it's got some pretty sharp edges. I'm going to have to sand them down. But that was one of the first ones I tried, and I started kind of thinking about it, playing with it, and looked up some box patterns, like you make paper boxes. Well, I got a little bit smarter, and the way I cut them out is I cut them over, left that over, so I started folding the record kind of over to make it like an edge, so it's a little bit more sturdy, and it doesn't let things fall out so easily. Things are actually getting caught, because I've been putting pencils and whatnot in this, and a couple of pencils, when it gets too full, they'd get caught on the side, and it was kind of frustrating. So I made that one there, and I did this one too. Again, I like it better with folding it over. And I've got this one here. I need to reheat this just a little bit to make this a little bit tighter there. But I'm going to be pouring over some of these to make them spiffy looking and give them a little bit of color. I mean, they are cool the way they are, but I think it'd be really fun to pour on them. But those are some of the little boxes I made up. Pencil holders, they can, you know, whatever you want to store in them. And then I also got, thinking about it more, this one is not one of the better ones. I was kind of playing with the idea. My lines are uneven here. But yeah, just a little thing to like hang on the wall where it would hold pins and stuff. I'm going to drill little holes in them so they'll have something to hang on, or put little hooks on the back. Not sure yet. But this one is kind of a shallow one. Just thought it was kind of, played with it. As you can see right there's one of my lines. I've been using this gold Sharpie to draw on it because, or it's a copper colored Sharpie, I'm not sure. But it works and lets the lines stay up on the record so I can melt, and then I just heated it and folded those edges over. This was one of the first ones I did with that. That worked pretty good. This one's wider so it would hold more, but be pretty good when it hangs up. And it's got a few sharp edges that I need to sand down to. I might take my hubby's Dremel tool and smooth it out. I thought that one would be a fun one to pour on. And I went, last night I was sitting down relaxing a little bit and decided to see how my paint markers would color on the record and see how it would go, because there's lines, some spots, like depending on what you're drawing, the grooves in the record kind of messed up the letters, but I think it was kind of fun and just kind of goofed off and played with that last night. Then one thing I was thinking about it is I found a few different wood cutouts at the dollar store, and because I'm going to pour on them and stuff, but I got thinking about it and decided to take him and trace on the record. Did not get exactly the right shape, but then heated it up and then cut the shapes out. So I have extra, Ooh, look, I got stickers stuck on the back of that one. So, decided to cut some extra shapes. It did, and then I did it with the flower. The acorn was a lot easier to cut out than the flower was. The flower became quite a pain to actually cut out. Plus, I do this out in the mudroom where I have ventilation, and because it is a very stinky process to heat records and get them warmed up, and I did do some research on it. It is slightly a toxic thing, so windows open when you're doing it for sure. And if you're melting records, like to make a bowl or something, you don't want to do it in an oven that you cook in. There's a bunch of suggestions that you don't want to do that, because when you're actually melting it, it makes a film on the inside of the oven. So you want something you don't cook in to heat them up. So that's why I went with the air gun, with my heat gun I mean, to do it. But yeah, the flour was kind of a pain. It did warp the record, as you can move this so it's a little bit easier to see. It is not, the camera, it's not flat anymore. And I reheated it with the heat gun, and then took, where did I put? I took a piece of from other things I've cut, I heated it up, and then I push it down to flatten it back up, or flatten it back out, not up. And that kind of helped get it flatter. This is, I'm not sure, when I do decide to pour on it, I might end up just doing a balloon, the extra, when I do a balloon smash or something, and just dip the balloon on it, or do a cellophane dip or a reverse dip or something on it, because it's not super flat. So I think if I poured on it, it would either pool or run over too much. But that's gonna play with those ideas some more. But I thought about it, and thought I would show you real quick how I do this. So I just take the record, I've dusted it off. These are all records that don't want to play. Got them at the thrift store. They've got scratches in them and just not happy little records. So I take and I try to put that much of the center is what I can see. Now where did I put my pen? And then I take the pen and I just trace around the flower here. And voila! I have a flower around it. It almost got dead center, so might be. So yeah, I will then heat this up later and cut it out, and I'll have another flower to pour on. So I figured it was a easy, inexpensive way, because the little thrift store that I grab the records from, I go in there on Wednesdays because they're 50% off day. The records are 10 cents a piece anyway, so I pay 5 cents a record. So it is a very inexpensive, cost-efficient canvas for when I'm doing this stuff. But I just wanted to share what I've been kind of doing with that. So thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you guys have played with records before. I know some of the gals I've watched and stuff definitely like Carrie's Creations. She's done on records. I believe a few others have done on records. But yeah, they're fun. They're easy to do. They're inexpensive. That's the nice part to pour on. And you're upcycling and stuff. Well, thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and let me know what you think. And don't forget to laugh, because a day without laughter is a wasted day. Bye till next time.